go through these images of the Tao and the olive tree, talking about the relationship of the Jewish people and the Gentile believers within the church, and having at some points a much vaster perspective into the whole of the Gentile world. And he comes then and reaches this kind of, it's a peak in his hike, in his wandering on which he takes us. He says, I do not want to let you ignorant. I do not want you to be ignorant, brothers, concerning this mystery, that you may not be prudent or clever in your own eyes. Now, I have to explain to you something about this word mystery, because everybody kind of brings his own imaginations into this word, and also own experiences. First of all, it's true that mystery, secret, is a secret affair. It is confidential. It may be a joint consultation that people sit together and then there's a secret or a mystery. They make a conspiracy, or they are planning an attack. I'm just going through the Bible where this word appears, and sometimes it is then also a council meeting where leadership meets and they discuss certain confidential issues. Now, note there is one crucial passage about God's dealing with mysteries, with a secret, and that is that he talks through the prophet Amos, and Amos asks for the Lord, or he says, for the Lord God does nothing without revealing his secret to his servants, the prophets. He talks about a consultation about what God is deciding. And then he says he will not do anything without revealing his secret to his servants, the prophet. So, if we go back and recapitulate, a mystery, a sod in Hebrew, or a raz, there are two words, and it also comes in that it's used in Aramaic as well, or in Greek it says mysterion, which is the English word mystery then. It's first of all a confidential matter, it's a state secret, it might be a mystery cult. And I say that very consciously because some Christians have this attitude that we have something mysterious, we have something that is hidden, the rest doesn't understand. And we think then it must be kept secret. There are certain issues like that, especially if we talk about a council meeting and leadership that discusses confidential matter, and in such a context, secrecy is a virtue. We have that in Proverbs especially, where it says don't trust people who cannot keep their mouths shut, because they will go out and talk about things they shouldn't talk about. The prophet Daniel, where the mysteries of God have a very high position in what he sees and what he says, he says that God is a God who reveals mysteries, even military secrets, if we go back in history. And then Jesus talks a lot in parables, which are also mysteries, and parables always require an interpretation. And in the same way, a mysterion requires a apocalypsis, a revelation. The two words, mystery and revelation, go together. And if we go then into the book of Revelation, which is very similar, very close to the book of Daniel, we see there all kind of mysteries. And what is called a mystery is, for example, if Daniel sees the 7 stars that you see in my right hand, the risen, the high up Christ tells him, or the 7 golden lampstands, or Babylon, the great whore is a mystery, the woman and the beast. Actually, Paul calls the marriage a mystery and an image towards Messiah, or there is, you see, it's not positive or negative. It can be the lawlessness, it can be the nature of wisdom, or God's nature, God's plan, God's thoughts, God's course of action or blueprints. Now, the very interesting thing is, and what is very important here, is for us human beings, mystery is something, or a secret is something that has to be kept secret, and woe to the one who discloses it. God is the one who reveals. God is the one who tells us something. And what is the nature of mysteries in the Bible and the dealing of God with it? It's not that He tells us something that you have to keep hidden, that you have to keep mysterious. But He tells you something that you cannot know otherwise. Mystery, in the mysterion, sod in Hebrew, raz, is something that cries out for revelation. So if Paul says, I tell you a mystery, he doesn't say, keep that secret. But he says, you will not know it if I won't tell it to you. And I only knew it because God told me. We need this revelation. So it's very important that we know that, and we know that difference between what the world thinks is a mystery that has to be kept secret, and what God says, I want to put it open before you. By the way, I think you can smell people. If you have a leadership that has to keep things secret, it very often is something that it indicates, it might not be necessarily, but it indicates that there's something questionable. In the end, everything will be put in the open, because God is a God who reveals mysteries, who pulls things out, and even the most intimate things in our lives will be put on the table and discussed before Him.